Hi, this is Jason, and this is my daily vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy.
Hello folks, it's New Year's Eve, and a friend of mine, Steve Cook, a good friend of mine, has asked me to do this one today. He's asked me to do Darth Vader, so I'm going to do it like I did yesterday. I'll show you the contents of the box, then I shall time-lapse building it, then I shall stop the time-lapse and show you the finished figure. Now, as usual, we have a book, do that, a book, blimey, we're not getting it, a huge bag of bits. As you can see, I'll just pull that back a bit actually, and then you can see it properly. There you go. What I'll do when I build it, I'll actually zoom in anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll put that there. There you go, you can see it better now. Look, big pile of bits. And this particular bag here, I've got another pile of bits, which I will, hang on, do it like that. There you go. And I'm going to be here doing all the bits. So that's it for now, and I'll start doing. And there we have Darth Vader in all his glory, complete with lightsaber. Seem better like that because of the light. So there you go. Second one. Hello folks, it's New Year's Eve. Sorry, I'm just bringing you through to the white room, so to speak. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. It's 10 to 4. Ooh, that's a bit dark, isn't it? Hold on a second. Oh, in fact, that's very dark. Hold on a minute. This might improve it slightly. That might improve it a little bit. There you go. You can see me ugly mug now. Right. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. Couldn't believe it. We're only about 8 hours away from 2019. Not done a lot today. Still a bit cold. It's a bit flued up a little bit. Nothing major. Just sniffle and a bit of a, you know, a bit of that stuff. Watched a lot of TV yesterday. An awful lot of TV. I watched the Kenny Everett special, which was brilliant. I watched Ken Dodd, How Tickled We Were. That was fantastic. And I also watched a really, really good programme called, well, I can't remember what it was called, but it was Bradley Walsh, and it was basically the history of ventriloquism, dummies, and, you know, it's been on TV. And that was quite insightful. We got to see some of my favourites, Bob Carroll, G's and Spit. Roddle and Emu, I was never mad on that. Sooty, one of my ultimate favourites that not many people remember actually was Roger De Courcy and Nookie Bear. And what I liked about Nookie Bear is you could have imagined him doing an adult show with Nookie Bear, because Nookie Bear was absolutely hilarious and he literally spoke his mind. Do you know what I mean? He was like the alter ego of Roger De Courcy. And I'll tell you something, I remember watching him years ago as I was growing up, and he was really, really funny back then. And to see him still going, you know, Roger De Courcy and Nookie Bear, it's quite some achievement. I know Rod Hall, you know, I know he passed away because he fell off a roof while fixing a TV aerial, if I'm not mistaken. I know that Keith Harris, he passed away not long ago, well, a couple of years ago now, and I remember growing up with him. You know, I wasn't so much popular with Orville. I liked the monkey. I think it's called Cuddles, I think. I preferred Cuddles. I just thought Cuddles was hilarious. I do like ventriloquists, I must admit. Some of them are brilliant. I remember one particular one that he didn't mention last night, and it was called Ron Lucas. And Ron Lucas was fantastic. I think he used to do something called, was it Bronco Billy or Buffalo Billy? And he did a punk that had arms that used to basically Velcro on. He did Scorch the Dragon. He was really, really good. I know one of the ones that people watch now, Jeff Dunham. I'm a big fan of Jeff Dunham. I like Jeff Dunham. I'd rather have his earlier stuff though. I'm not so much up to his, you know, his newer stuff. But I liked it when he first introduced Ahmed. And my wife's favourite is Peanut. And a few years back, come Christmas, I managed to acquire for her off eBay a talking peanut doll. And basically it's got about 7 or 8 phrases. Like, what was it? You're the other white meat. You know, the one where it goes over his head. If anybody who watches Jeff Dunham will know what I'm talking about. And it also does the jeffdunham.com, which is jeffdunham.com. It does that, which is quite amusing anyway. But she's still got it and she loves it. But I think the problem with ventriloquism now is most people want things animatronic. You know, they don't want to see somebody talking with a puppet. I know a girl won America's Got Talent not so long ago. The only problem with that is, I think, because she's a girl and because she's young, it will appeal to a lot of people and they'll think, oh, this is really cute, she's dead talented, blah, blah, blah. But you don't see many ventriloquists that have such a massive future. And one guy who was introduced, I can't remember what his name was, he actually had to go over to America in order to win one of their talent contests because he couldn't get any bookings over here. Nobody was interested in ventriloquism or ventriloquist dummies, which is a shame really, because like I said, it was a mainstay when I was growing up. There was always some ventriloquist about. And one of my favourites, which it's still stupid when you think about it, was Spit the Dog, Bob Carroll, Jeeves and Spit. And it was funny to see them. Because bear in mind, this was a bloke who made a career out of a dog that just used to go, and that's all it used to do. It never used to speak or do anything. He would ask its question, it would just go, boom, Spit the Dog. And he was still doing it last night, which was funny. So yeah, it was a blast from the past, that was. It was enjoyable to watch. The Kenny Everett story. Now, I wasn't a massive lover of Kenny Everett when he was on TV, but the insight into his life and this programme that was on was fascinating. It was absolutely brilliant. I never realised how much of a popular DJ he was, because of course it was in the late 70s and 80s, and I wasn't really listening to much radio music back then, because obviously I was only born in 72, so when he was at his peak, I was only about 8 or 10, and it's hard to think that he's been gone 23 years, actually. What was absolutely brilliant about it was right at the end of this programme on Dummies, switch back now, sorry, I've just jumped a bit. If you watch this programme on Dummies, is right at the end is the last ever interview with Ken Dodd. Now, people might say Ken Dodd, he kept repeating his material, blah, 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 blah. But I will say one thing about Ken Dodd. He had longevity. He was one fantastic performer. I mean, I can watch Ken Dodd and laugh hysterically at his jokes, They're corny, don't get me wrong, of course they're corny. And some of his stuff's over the top. But I tell you something, that guy could entertain. And to keep doing that almost up to the day that you pass away at 90 is absolutely phenomenal. And it's a massive hats off to him. My mum went to see him live, and she said he was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've seen a couple of his shows, appearances and everything that he's done. An audience with Ken Dodd and another audience with Ken Dodd were absolutely superb. But the guy was literally one of the last great entertainers. He was the king of the stage. He was never more at home than when he was performing in front of a live audience. I don't think he liked TV that much from what I heard last night. He didn't like doing television. It was a necessary evil, really. But when he was let loose with a massive crowd of people in front of him, he got them hooked, mate. As one of the people put him, he didn't captivate an audience, he captured them. He literally grasped, and once he got hold of them, didn't let go, Some of his stuff that he's done has had me rolling around in hysterics. Anyway, it's coming up to the end of the year. I don't know what you're doing tonight. Me and Deb, we're thinking of actually having a Mamma Mia marathon. We're watching both films one after another because Deb's got both of them on Blu-ray. Now, I've seen the first one, but I've not seen the second one. So I'm quite prepared. Some people will be like, oh, what a film to watch on, New Year's Eve and all that. It's like, no, we're watching that. We're watching it from about 7 o'clock till about 11, quarter past, give or take. And then we're watching the Madness concert. Because to me, Suggs rocks. I won't have anybody say a bad word about Madness. I absolutely love the group Madness. They're fantastic. And again, they're celebrating 40 years of singing next year, which is quite incredible. Because I remember the early stuff like The Prince and Baggy Trousers, Our House, Welcome to the House of Fun, all that sort of stuff, and it was fantastic. And I think for a group to be still going after 40 years, it shows you their popularity. And even to this day, they bring out a new CD, mate, and it's sold. Simple as. I know for a fact because I'll buy the first copy. I love Madness. I think Suggs is a fantastic guy. Going back to the Ken Dodd thing, actually, one thing that fascinated me was the fact that the guy lived in the same house he'd always lived in all his life. I mean, he was 90 years old and he'd never moved. He had never moved. He'd always lived in the same house. And his wife, which was Lady Anne, if I'm not mistaken, she kept him grounded. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't one of these people who let money go to his head. He didn't go out and start buying mansions or racehorses or anything like that. He lived a very, very humble life. But he was two different people. He was Ken Dodd, the man, who was basically a really, really sort of reserved and quiet guy. A family man and very, very withdrawn. Well, not withdrawn. I don't mean withdrawn. What do I mean? Private. He was a very private man. He didn't go about boasting about his life or nothing like that. But once he got on that stage, he was a totally different man. He was literally electrified. It was like somebody just put 10,000 volts through him. And he literally, his life story was basically, I want to make people laugh. And he did it time and time and time again. And to do that for the years he was in show business is absolutely incredible. And I think anybody, like I said, who loves the fact of what he did, he was a fantastic entertainer. If you liked him, just do me a favour, underneath, just type you liked him, if you know who I'm talking about. just so I can get an idea, you know. I mean, I've got 30 odd subscribers, 38 I think it is. So if you want to, leave a comment underneath. If you want to leave me a Happy New Year message, feel free to do that underneath the video as well. But I want to wish everybody a really, really Happy New Year. I hope it starts off fantastic, I hope it continues brilliant, and I hope it ends wonderfully. I wish you all the best, and the next time I do another video will be next year. You all take care. Love you all. Bye for now.
If you're enjoying the videos I'm doing and you want to see more, you can subscribe by clicking the link there. And if you want to see my exciting day from yesterday, you can click up there. Thank you again for taking the time to watch my videos. Bye for now.